After sitting down with a few street vendors here in Saigon, I started to pick up on what actually goes into a great bowl of Bun Bo Hue. Now, I've taken everything that I've learned and incorporated it into my own pot that I'm going to share with you today. In this video, I'm going to show you how I approach Bun Bo Hue in a home kitchen, really focusing on the broth and breaking it down layer by layer, because at the end of the day, the broth is what defines the dish. It should be deep, savory, a little aggressive with that lemongrass aroma coming through. And once you get that right, everything else just kind of falls into place. So with that being said, let's get started. The key to making a great pot of Bun Bo Hue starts with the bones and how you clean them. For this batch, I soaked the beef and pork bones overnight to help draw out any residual blood. Start by draining the soaking water, then place the bones into a large stock pot and fill it with enough water to fully cover them. Bring it up to a rolling boil. This is the first step to cleaning your bones. As the water heats up, you'll start to see impurities rise to the surface. Skim off anything that floats to the top and let the bones boil for about 5 minutes. Then drain everything out and remove the bones from the pot. Take a moment to clean the pot as well. Scrub off anything that is built up and stuck to the sides. Rinse the bones under running water, making sure to remove any remaining impurities. The cleaner your bones are at this stage, the cleaner your broth will be later. Once everything is cleaned, return the bones to the pot, add fresh water, and bring it up to a gentle simmer. From here, we start building the broth. When it comes to the fermented shrimp paste, one technique that I picked up from the vendors here is to make a clarified shrimp paste extract. It gives you more control and keeps the broth from turning cloudy. To do this, add water to a small pot followed by the shrimp paste. Stir in to dissolve, then bring it to a gentle simmer. As it heats up, you'll start to see impurities rise to the surface. Just like when we cleaned the bones earlier, skim off anything that floats to the top and let it simmer for 5 minutes. Then remove it from the heat, transfer it to a separate container. As the liquid cools, any remaining impurities will settle at the bottom, leaving you a clear, concentrated shrimp extract to use for your broth later. Before adding the beef to the broth, I like to give it a quick blanch just to clean it a bit. In a separate pot of simmering water, add salt, ginger, shallot, and lemongrass to create a light aromatic blanching liquid. Then add the beef shank and oyster blade, let it simmer briefly, just for a few minutes, enough to pull out any remaining impurities. Remove the meat and rinse it under running water. Now that it's clean and ready for the broth. Once prepped, add the beef into the stock pot. From here, it's gonna cook slowly, gently breaking down while also adding more depth and flavor to the broth. You're looking for something tender but still sliceable. Once they're ready, remove the meat and transfer it into a water bath to cool. This helps stop the cooking and keeps the texture clean for slicing later. For the pork hocks and congealed pork blood, we follow a similar process. Start by bringing a pot of water to a gentle simmer, then add salt, ginger, shallots, add the pork hocks, and give them a quick simmer. Then remove and rinse under running water to clean out the impurities. When working with pork hocks, you'll sometimes notice small hairs still on the skin. Make sure to scrape them off or use tweezers to pluck them out. It's a small detail but makes a big difference. Next, prepare a fresh aromatic poaching liquid with salt, crushed ginger, and shallots. Return the pork hocks to the pot and let them poach gently at around 185 degrees for about an hour and a half. Then add the congealed pork blood and continue poaching at the same temperature for another 30 minutes. Once everything is cooked, transfer them into a water bath to cool. Now we move into the aromatic layer. This is where the broth really starts to take shape. Place the shallots, ginger, pineapple, and onions onto a sheet tray and roast at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 30 minutes. Then add the cinnamon sticks and star anise and continue roasting for another 10 to 15 minutes. Once done, remove them from the oven and set aside. At the same time, we built the chili oil and a light satay base. In a pan, heat oil and add the minced lemongrass. Let it cook gently until it turns a light blonde color. Then add the garlic, followed by the shallots, letting each layer develop before adding the next. Finish with Thai chilies and Korean chili powder and let everything infuse together. Strain the oil through a fine sieve, reserve the oil, and transfer the solids into a small sachet or a tea bag. This allows you to extract the flavor without clouding the broth. Now, going back to the broth, at around the 5-hour mark, we start layering everything in. Lightly crush the roasted aromatics to release their flavor, then add them into the pot along with the sachet. Add in the roasted pineapples, onions, ginger, shallots, cinnamon, and star anise. Then add in the clarified shrimp extract. Let everything simmer gently for another hour, along with a few spoonfuls of the chili oil. This is where all the elements come together, and the broth develops its final depth and aroma. While the broth finishes, prepare your herb platter along with your meat toppings and all the garnishes for your Bun Bo Hue. Now for the final steps. Remove all the aromatics and bones and strain the broth into a clean pot. From there, measure about 5 liters of broth into a separate pot. This next step is important. Bring it up to a gentle simmer. Start with rock sugar, fish sauce, and add about half of the salt that you think you'll need. Give it a taste. From here, adjust gradually, adding more salt as needed until everything comes into balance. You're looking for something deep, slightly sweet, savory, and fully rounded. Once it hits, you'll know. So once you're done with your prep, you should have your plate of herbs ready to go, along with your banana blossom, your plate of proteins, your rice vermicelli. Here I'm using the big size rice vermicelli, perfect for Bun Bo Hue. And then your bowl of limes, your sliced onions, green onions, your fish sauce with red chili. Here I have the bone marrow, is one of my favorite toppings. It is the collagen along with the bone marrow, and if your guest or who you're serving like added layer of richness, this is the rendered bone marrow that has been floating on the top. I skimmed a little bit so you could just muse and drizzle that on top to your bowl. And then last but not least, something that I did not include in this video is the egg satay, the Vietnamese lemongrass chili oil. The recipe I shared on a separate post, but this, in my opinion, is an essential piece to your Bun Bo Hue. But enough talk. We have all of our mise en place. Let's put together our bowl of Bun Bo Hue. And there you have it. I would say Saigon style Bun Bo Hue because this is not traditional by any means, but it is a bowl of Bun Bo Hue that I absolutely put my heart and soul into it and wrote this recipe so that you can recreate it at home. But let's dig in. Step 1, taste the broth. Can you zoom in? Can you see it?
Not really.
Oh, goosebumps. Okay, yum. How I dress my Bun Bo Hue, herbs. So first, taste, obviously, and then herbs, a little bit of banana blossom. And then, last but not least, depending on how spicy you eat or how spicy the satay is, I like about this much, that much of satay. Right then and there, I'll leave a spoon here. If you like your broth on a more acidic side, you add your lime, but personally, my broth is exactly where I like it. So no lime for me. Putting together a side dip, a dipping sauce on the side so that you could dip your proteins while you eat your Bun Bo Hue. So what I like to do is sugar, just a little bit, chili infused fish sauce. I just want the fish sauce. Trust me, once you try this, you're gonna fall in love. Little bit of satay. And then lime. And then you could put as much as you like. Eyeball the ingredient. If you like the sauce to be more sweet, you put more sugar. If you like the sauce to be more acidic, obviously more lime. Once you have your spicy, tangy lime dipping sauce, I'm gonna move my herb to the side. Let's get in. Give your BBH bowl a mix. The satay. Once again, just like the previous video, just like the gam tam video, this is a lot of work, from prepping the protein to tending to the pot of broth. It's a labor of love, but man, how cool is it to be able to take a couple of kilos of bones, add some water, some aromatic, and applied other ingredients, and then you have this magical thing that in Vietnamese culture, a bowl of Bun Bo Hue. I just think that is an amazing skill to have. I hope that you get to give this recipe a try. Just like I said before, the way that I have it layered and structured, it is absolutely foolproof. And if there's at any step where you feel like, oh, maybe my seasoning's off, well, you know that at 5 liters of broth, I added this much salt. Maybe I should pull back. If it's too sweet, I added too much sugar. Maybe I should pull back. But your point of reference is 5 liters of stock and then X amount of seasoning. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here, for viewing to the very end. As this channel is continuing to grow, I always welcome feedback, and please leave a comment down below, and I'll catch you on the next video.